Have you ever noticed how the smallest gesture can change the entire atmosphere between two people? Not money, not fancy gifts, not perfect looks, just one simple, powerful gesture that speaks directly to the heart. And the strange thing is, almost nobody uses it. In a world where everyone is trying to impress, dominate, or prove themselves, very few men understand the quiet power of genuine respect and thoughtful attention. Yet this simple act has the ability to melt walls, dissolve tension, and create emotional connection faster than almost anything else. The gesture is simple, being fully present and respectfully attentive. When a man truly listens to a woman, not interrupting, not trying to immediately solve her problems, not looking at his phone, but actually hearing her, something powerful happens. She feels seen. And when someone feels seen, they feel valued. Think about it. Every human being is walking through life hoping someone will truly notice them, not their appearance, not their achievements, but them as a person. But most men miss this completely. They think attraction is about clever lines, flashy confidence, or expensive displays. But those things rarely create deep connection. They may capture attention for a moment, but attention is not the same as emotional warmth. A woman's emotional world is deeply connected to how safe and understood she feels around someone. When a man slows down, looks her in the eyes, listens carefully, and responds with genuine curiosity, he communicates something powerful without saying it directly. You matter. That message is rare today. Look around. Conversations are rushed, people are distracted, everyone is scrolling. Everyone is waiting for their turn to speak rather than listening to understand. But a man who listens calmly and respectfully stands out immediately. Not because he is loud, but because he is grounded. And grounded men create emotional safety. Now, here's something even more interesting from female psychology. Women often interpret attentive listening as a form of emotional strength. Why? Because it shows patience, confidence, and self control. A man who doesn't need to dominate the conversation shows he is comfortable with himself. He isn't performing, he isn't competing, he is simply present. And presence is powerful. Imagine this situation. A woman is telling a story about her day, maybe something that frustrated her or something that excited her. Most people would interrupt, give quick advice, or turn the conversation back to themselves. But the rare man simply listens. He asks thoughtful questions. He nods. He smiles. He acknowledges her feelings. Suddenly, the conversation feels different, warmer, safer, more meaningful. That is the gesture that melts hearts, not because it is dramatic, but because it is sincere. Another layer of this gesture is small acts of consideration. Opening a door, offering your jacket when it's cold, walking on the outside of the sidewalk, remembering something she mentioned days ago. These are not outdated traditions. They are signals of attentiveness, and attentiveness communicates respect. When a man shows thoughtful consideration without expecting praise or reward, he demonstrates character. And character is incredibly attractive because it reveals consistency, the ability to care even when nobody is watching. This is what separates boys from men. Boys try to impress, men choose to care. And caring doesn't require wealth, status, or perfect circumstances. It simply requires awareness. Awareness of the person standing in front of you. Awareness of the moment you are sharing. Awareness that connection is built through small, consistent actions, not grand occasional gestures. Many men search for complicated strategies to understand women, but the truth is surprisingly simple. Respect her thoughts, value her feelings, be attentive to the little details, and most importantly, be genuine. Because sincerity cannot be faked for long. People can sense when someone is acting versus when someone truly cares. The good news is this gesture costs nothing, but its value is priceless. In a distracted world, presence is rare. In a loud world, calm listening is powerful. And in a self centered world, genuine attentiveness is unforgettable. So the next time you speak with a woman, remember this simple principle: slow down, listen carefully, respond thoughtfully, show small acts of consideration. Because sometimes the most powerful gesture a man can offer is not something he says, but the respect he quietly demonstrates. In a world filled with constant noise, distractions, and people competing for attention, one quality has quietly become rare: the ability to truly listen. Genuine attention is one of the most powerful gestures a man can offer, yet it is often misunderstood and overlooked. Many believe attraction or connection is created through impressive words, bold confidence, or outward success. But in reality, emotional connection often begins with something much simpler: being fully present in the moment. When a man listens with patience and sincere interest, he communicates a message far deeper than words can express. He shows that he values the thoughts, feelings, and experiences of the person in front of him. In female psychology, this sense of being heard and understood creates emotional comfort and trust. It signals respect, maturity, and a calm strength that does not need to dominate the conversation to be noticed. Most people listen with the intention of replying, not understanding. They interrupt, shift the focus back to themselves, or rush to give advice before truly absorbing what is being shared. But a man who listens attentively stands apart. He takes time to understand the meaning behind the words, the emotions behind the story, and the perspective behind the experience. This type of listening reflects confidence and self control. It shows that a person is not insecure or desperate to prove themselves. Instead, they are grounded enough to give space to someone else's voice. Emotional awareness like this builds a stronger and more authentic connection because it allows trust to grow naturally. True strength in communication is not measured by how loudly someone speaks, but by how deeply they understand. When a man develops the habit of sincere attention and respectful listening, he creates an atmosphere where meaningful connection can flourish. In many relationships, people often believe that attraction and emotional connection are built through big dramatic actions. They think grand surprises, expensive gifts, or impressive displays are what truly capture someone's heart. While those things may create excitement for a moment, they rarely build lasting emotional warmth. What truly leaves a deep impression are the small, thoughtful gestures that quietly reveal a person's character. Simple acts of consideration can speak louder than long speeches or elaborate efforts. Remembering a small detail someone shared, offering help without being asked, showing patience during a difficult moment, or expressing appreciation for something ordinary, these actions communicate genuine care. They show that a person is paying attention, that they value the other individual not just in special moments, but in everyday life. From a psychological perspective, consistency in small behaviors creates a strong sense of trust. People naturally feel safer and more comfortable around someone whose actions reflect reliability and sincerity. When kindness and respect appear regularly in simple ways, they build emotional warmth over time. This kind of behavior shows authenticity because it is not done for attention or praise. It is simply a reflection of who someone truly is. Thoughtful gestures also demonstrate awareness. They reveal that a person is observant enough to notice the needs, moods, and feelings of others. This level of attentiveness strengthens emotional bonds because it makes someone feel valued and respected. Instead of trying to impress through performance, a man who practices quiet consideration shows integrity and emotional maturity. Over time, these small actions become powerful. They create a pattern of respect, kindness, and reliability that naturally deepens connection. In the end, it is not the size of the gesture that matters most, but the sincerity behind it and the consistency with which it is shown. When we look at these ideas together, a powerful truth begins to appear. Real connection is rarely built through loud words, dramatic actions, or attempts to impress. Instead, it grows quietly through respect, attention, and thoughtful behavior. Genuine listening allows someone to feel heard and valued, while small gestures of kindness reveal character and sincerity. These two qualities, presence and consideration, create an environment where trust and emotional warmth can naturally develop. The beauty of these principles is their simplicity. They do not require wealth, status, or extraordinary talent. They only require awareness, patience, and the willingness to treat another person with genuine respect. A man who listens carefully and acts thoughtfully shows emotional strength, maturity, and confidence without needing to announce it. His actions speak clearly, and people feel the difference. In a fast moving world where many conversations are rushed and many gestures are performed for attention. Sincerity stands out more than ever. When someone consistently shows care through small actions and attentive presence, they create something rare and meaningful, authentic human connection. And in the end, it is these quiet qualities that leave the deepest and most lasting impression.